those are the two quotes from the movie that
That stuck out.
that stick for me.
It wasn't life is like a box of chocolates?
Oh,
Oh, Cade. All right. Well,
oh, yeah, you can ask the family. We would quote those 2.
hey, I'm Kit,
And I'm Cade,
and we're real people.
doing real reviews.
We are continuing our season 3 stories that stick. These are the films that have shaped our perspective on cinema as movie critics and reviewers. We are doing coming of age stories,
Right.
and this will be our 6th episode. And I did my coming of age story right before, so if you can scroll back to watch it, and then now we're doing Cade's pick. What did you choose?
Yeah, so for this one, I picked Forrest Gump.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a little bit different than yours because I think while it tells a coming of age story with some memories from childhood, it's
Mm,
actually his whole kind of life up until that point
yeah.
and then some,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is very cool because it's like reflection, present, future coming of age in it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true, from him being a boy to having a boy,
yeah,
right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
exactly. So that's why I chose this movie for us to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was her pick. It is, if you haven't watched Forrest Gump in a minute, which that was me.
Yeah.
I have fully forgotten scenes. I like even why the bench is there and why he's talking about chocolates. Like I was like, why is he talking about chocolates to somebody? Like,
Yeah.
and so recommend a rewatch. Coming out of it, the plot of the film is kind of like what you're saying as a summary. It's him talking about. It starts out with he is at the doctor's with his mom getting braces on his legs. Right? Am I
Right.
getting
Well,
enough?
I mean, like, I think even before that, and which I find quite fascinating, the whole movie through is there's a lot of like
Narration.
extreme topics floating in the background.
Oh
So he
my
starts
gosh.
out, he's like, "Hi, my name's Forrest Gump. I'm named after my great 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 grandpa who wore bed sheets over his head and had horses that wore bed sheets over their head." And basically, they were in the KKK, and he's talking to a woman, and she's just like, "What?" But the whole movie is this, and I think it is a very cool, interpretation of all of these hard issues. He's just a very simple Alabama man
Mhm.
who's a little slow, and despite that, he did some really great things,
Yeah.
through his lifetime. So, yes, and then from that, we start there, and we're like, "Oh, okay. Well, this is kind of funny," as well as, it is a rom-com, so you're welcome.
Cade loves a love story, guys. Loves them. He looks for it. He looks for the love story.
Yes.
Um,
Well, I don't actually I don't know if
you gravitate.
I gravitate, yes. I haven't realized that I have been doing that, but now that we're reflecting up until this point, there is a common theme. Um, I love love. What can I say?
Oh.
So anyway, so he apparently when he's little,
Mhm.
he has scoliosis, so he has to get these like um
Braces on his
braces on
legs.
his legs.
Mhm.
Um
And a lot comes through, like, his mom's perspective of, like, her words of wisdom
yes.
and things that can make sense to him, and her, advocating for him and teaching him how to advocate for himself. So he is at the doctor's, he's getting these braces, it works, and the doctor's like, "Yep, we're gonna straighten you out, like, you have, back like a question mark, but we're gonna fix it,"
Yeah.
and then he was walking down the street learning how to walk in it, and he's like, "These are magic shoes. They're gonna make my body, like, work." Um, and the mom wants him to go to school, and she's advocating for that, and just there's just a lot that is coming from the perspective of, like, his mom's advice, and it's him and his mom and kinda going back to, the where he came from,
Yeah.
the home that they're living in has been in the home for, like, into the family for multiple generations, and the mom uses it as an inn. And
To make money and those sorts of things, so she's providing in that kind of way,
mhm,
as well as then the next scene with the,
mhm,
principal of the school basically says that
mhm.
he has to go to a special school. The mom's like, "No, you can't. I don't want that."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, we can work out a deal," which then is like
Wink, wink.
some adult humor, which I remember watching this movie as a child, didn't pick up on it, watched it later, and I was like, "Oh my goodness."
Click.
And
Oh,
I had to have been like
what?
in like high school, I think, as the rewatch, and I realized what was going on, and I was like, "This was in the movie that I watched when I was little?"
It's the things that we don't catch because we
Yeah,
don't know it's the innocence,
the
right?
innocence in it. But
Yeah, which is
it
very cool.
yeah, which in it and then he ends up going to this school. It's like the next scene with the school bus, and he says he can't talk to strangers, so he introduces himself to the bus driver, which is cute. He gets on the bus.
Mhm,
My favorite lines from quoting this movie,
mhm,
one of them, "Seats taken, can't sit here,"
mhm.
through it, and then he meets Jenny,
Yeah.
the love of
Oh,
his life.
uh,
From that moment, he just knew then,
'cause they were like peas and carrots.
peas and carrots. Yes.
Yes.
Which does that reference make sense to you? Do you understand that one?
'Cause is it, like, in, like, the bags of frozen peas and carrots that are together?
Yes.
Like, is that, like, little it's like,
Yeah. So, like yeah.
did I eat that growing up? No. But do I know that because I've seen it? Because 'cause I've traveled to America? Yes, America. What do you do with your peas and carrots?
Uh,
You can have them separate. It's no
yeah.
problem.
Peas and carrots in a bag. Yep, absolutely. Okay, just checking. Make sure she's up on
Got it?
culture.
I do love their little childhood though, and it shows that she, is growing up in a very awful, chaotic environment with,
Yeah.
abusive husband, you or abusive, sorry, dad, but you understand
Dad.
how it's determined, like
Yeah, which I also thought was fascinating, and we talked about this too, how,
mm,
again, Forrest describes this in a very simple way. He's just like, her dad was very loving and was very touching and kissing of her.
mhm,
And then it cuts to him with like a bottle of whiskey or something, yelling and her dress torn,
mhm,
and how she doesn't want to go home.
yeah,
Which then my second quote from the movie, "Make me a bird so I can fly far, far away from here."
mhm,
I don't know why. Those are the 2 quotes from the movie that
that stuck out.
that stick for me.
It wasn't "Life is like a box of chocolates"?
Oh,
Oh, Cade. Alright, well
oh, yeah, you can ask the family. We would quote those 2.
oh,
Hmm,
well,
interesting.
glad you're up
Uh,
there in Canada for Tuckasee, you got those wings,
I
huh?
flew far, far away from there.
Yeah,
It's okay. I go back quite often, mom.
I, uh I agree, though, it is interesting the way that he brings up heavy topics and the way that the film brings up heavy topics and watching their childhood evolve and getting to a place. I know for like, because they cover everything is at this outrageous level because he had the bracelets, he had to run away from bullies. Because of that, he becomes an incredible, athlete on a football field because he
Yeah,
can
'cause
run.
he can run real fast. Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah. Oh, that's another quote. There you go.
Yeah.
And then they had to put a sign that said, "Stop for us," because he would just
Yeah.
keep going.
So we got the scholarship to university, which his mom was proud about because he got a full ride
Mhm.
because he was on it was basically a football star because he could run
Yep. And,
and went,
mm,
which is also cool because then it cuts to a scene with him and Jenny.
mhm,
Jenny leaves.
mhm.
He's heartbroken.
Yeah. And then, the military approaches him after he's done college and was like, "You ever thought about this?" And he's amazing. And they're telling him how genius he is because he can do everything. He's like, "You just gotta tidy up and say,
Yes,
'Yes,
sir.
sir,' and I'm amazing at this." Like, and he was. And then that's where he meets his new best friend 'cause Jenny's away and he's writing to her.
Every day. Yeah.
Yeah, almost every day, but she doesn't write back, and, but then he has a friend named Baba who knows how
Forrest
his
Gump.
yeah, his whole family does
Shrimp.
shrimping, and he's like, "I'd like for you to be on my shrimp boat with me," and they go to war together. What's crazy is that I completely forgot about the war scenes and it is a big part of the movie, and so,
Yeah.
and it's very extreme. It's amazing. It's like the explosions are amazing, like,
The
it's
helicopters,
the
the everything kind of talking through that. Yeah, very cool.
yeah.
He's, which cuts to that, he again talks about things in simple terms where
Mhm.
something just jumped up and bit him in the butt.
Mhm. Wa
Basically he got shot,
was a
but
bullet.
in that time, he goes back for Bubba, trying to find him, and he keeps pulling out all these people.
Mhm. From his
Uh,
platoon, yeah,
yeah,
and his lieutenant, Lieutenant Dan is in there
Lieutenant
too.
Dan, yeah,
Mhm.
pulls him out, which kinda goes through, like, that's Lieutenant Dan's legacy is dying in war,
Mhm.
which is kind of like a sub-story of kind of the main kind of story there.
Mhm.
But then Forrest is awarded
Medal of Honor.
a Medal of Honor, so he's with the president.
The
It's
mom
quite
is like,
funny. Yeah.
proud.
And somehow he gets into this,
Hmm.
protest
Yes.
because he just got his award. He's walking around looking at the sights in Washington,
Mhm.
DC, because he's never been there, and he, um, finds Jenny. Jenny happens to be there,
Mhm.
and so they have another lovely moment, and then she goes away again.
Yep.
Um, but in the midst of that, then he is the ping pong champion after that, before that?
It was
It's
part of
so
the
absurd.
military, yeah, and so he's yeah, that's the thing is, like, it's really extreme. So, when he was in the when he was healing from his,
Butt
uh
wound. Yeah,
yes,
butt
thanks
time.
for saying it, from being bit. Uh, he he's just playing ping pong, and he's really great at it, and so he gets to go to
China,
China and play in the championships. He does really well. They they
they
were
put him on the team. That's
yeah,
what he does then in the army afterwards.
yeah, and,
Uh,
which is yeah, super fun. And then again, all these sponsorships kinda show up at his mom's house being like, "Tell him like, we
Yes.
want him to have this paddle," and he was like, "Okay, if I say this, then I get this amount of money. Hey, and even though my friend died, I could buy that shrimp boat and I could live
Yeah.
on his legacy because promise is a promise."
Yeah.
So then he does that.
He does that,
Mhm.
which is quite funny because he's, like, on this shrimp boat,
He
and
doesn't
then
know what to
Lieutenant Dan shows up, and he's so excited to see him that he jumps off the boat, and the boat keeps going. And he's like, "Lieutenant Dan, you're here." And then the boat comes back the other way and crashes into the dock behind them, which I think is so absurd.
It's so good. I
Yeah,
love that scene.
yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty good.
and just not explained, like, how did it turn around?
Yeah, it's
It
not explained at all.
just does. Mhm, and so then they start pushing together, they're terrible at it, and then they're praying, like, there's gotta like,
Yes.
we need to be better at this, this is for
Yeah.
Baba, and then there's a giant storm, and it
Well, then it's also absurd, so they said they gotta pray about it, so he goes to church, and he's in the choir, and it's like a Southern Baptist church, and he's just singing along with the choir in, like, the background, and he obviously stands out. Like, it's so absurd, but after that moment, then there's the big storm
yeah,
that crashes all of the other shrimp boats in the area, and he's the only one left.
yeah, and he is tremendously successful, ends up with, creating a franchise,
Yes.
Dan hires a bunch of people.
Say Bubba Gump Shrimp Company.
Yes. And then he gets a call that his mom is sick, and so he has to leave. He goes back home to that same old house, sees his mom.
Sees his mom.
Mhm.
It talks about him investing into a fruit company
Apple.
so that he didn't have to worry about money anymore.
That's right. So it was already a tremendously successful, shrimp company, and then he invested in Apple.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Since I had more money than God," mom said that's just for showing off.
Yeah.
Then and they it's like all the things in the town that's like the hospital is like Gump Hospital. He like puts all this money towards things,
Back
and
to the church,
and
yeah.
then he starts just mowing the lawn for free at
Yeah.
the high school.
Which is also funny because the people that he's telling this on the park bench laugh, and they're like, "Oh, that you had me there,"
Yeah.
kinda thing, and, like, one guy walks off, and the old lady who's, staying with him is like, "Did that really happen?" He's like, "Oh, I got a picture." of
Cover
Lieutenant Dan.
become the
Right.
cover of Time magazine as, like,
Yeah.
this bear
So
she's like, "Got it? Okay, this is real."
yeah.
Um, yeah, the mom passes away, and Jenny shows up, right? Right after that.
Yes.
And they have, like, some family time where she's needing to recover and heal. Her lifestyle had gotten really extreme with
Mhm.
partying and drugs and everything, and so she came and it's quite happy, and he asks her to marry him.
Yeah. And so sleeps with him for the night,
Mhm.
and then
Just
she wakes up before he wakes up and leaves and disappears, and
and
he's so heartbroken in that moment that she's left that he just decides to start running.
can I talk about the scenery before he runs? Because it's this I'm super auditory, so I love scenes that really make a choice when it comes to sound, and how they depict like, deafening silence as they just cut all sound and just show him in the home doing different things, like sitting in a chair, sitting on the front deck,
Mm,
noticing that her bed is
yeah,
and there's no sound at all, no music, no footsteps, nothing, it's just deafening, and then he's like, "For no reason at all, I started to run."
yeah,
Mhm.
and he ran so far that then
To one ocean, then he ran to another one. Yeah.
the other ocean,
Mhm.
and then it starts picking up that he had followers and people had a purpose, and he's still talking about it in this very simple way
Yeah.
of like, "Ah, I just did it,
Yeah.
and
It's like
I
a
just ran and ran, and then one day I stopped."
and along the way, he's, like, helping people with, like, there was a T-shirt company guy, and he couldn't come
Oh,
up with
yeah.
anything, and it's like and I told him to have a nice day, and I wiped my face, and it's like a smiley face and the have a nice day, and, like, things like that where, and they do other things too, like Elvis's moves dancing where
Beginning.
him in the beginning with bracelets, like, kind of learning because he's popped by that little inn, like, there's, like, scenes where he's like, "I taught people that, I did that,"
Yeah,
and
it's
silly.
great.
And then, it goes right from that to, he got a letter from Jenny again, and there's another
Yep, so he gets the letter
mm,
from Jenny,
season
and
1.
that's where it cuts to present time. He's on
Mhm.
the bench about to go see her,
Mhm.
and the lady's like, "Oh, that's like 3 blocks that way, you don't have to wait for the bus."
Mhm.
And so he meets up with her,
Mhm.
which is kind of funny because that's the chocolates are for her,
Yeah, but
which
he
is
ate some.
yeah. So then they're talking, and then a little boy comes in,
Mhm.
probably what, 5, 6?
2 or 3.
You think it's that little?
Yeah.
God, my age is off on these movies.
Yeah.
No. Okay, sure. And basically he's like, "Oh my goodness, you're a mom,"
Mhm.
and he's quite excited about it. And then she's like, "Well, he takes or what's his name?" And she's like, "He has his dad's name, Forrest." And then he realizes that this boy is his son,
Mhm.
and he's like shocked.
Mhm.
And then he's like, "Can I go over?" And she's like, "Absolutely." He
Mhm.
goes and sits over with him for a little bit, and then he's basically like, "Come, let me take care of both of you."
Yeah, and it's determined that she has a virus, kind of like a wink that it might be AIDS, and because
Mhm.
they didn't know how to heal it, and so they go back to the house. She asks him to, marry
Marry
her.
him, yeah.
They have a little backyard wedding, which is so sweet, and Lieutenant Dan shows up with a girlfriend, and he has magic legs. He has he has a titanium leg so he can walk. He doesn't have to be in the wheelchair anymore, which is very cool, and so you can see, like, the people that stayed in his life, and, she passes away, and he buries her under their tree from when they were children, and he has, like, a conversation with her on how smart their son is, and then
Yeah.
it shows
Before that, though, like, when
Mhm.
she does come back in that time,
Mm.
the scene as far as her going to her family's home and how she, like, throws everything at the house, and she's so sad, and he's like, "We ran out of rocks."
Yeah.
With it, which was kind of a raw scene kind of to close that up.
Mhm.
But yeah, very sweet at the end, kind of telling her that he's, um, missed her will miss her, will always love her,
Mm.
will take care of their son, do those things, and it goes full circle because the little boy's like, "I'm bringing your book from when you were little to school for show and tell," and then he
Mhm.
gets on the bus and he's like, "I'm Forrest Gump," and he gets on and he's sitting there waiting for him to come back.
Mhm.
So, yeah, really, really great movie. Hopefully everyone's seen it, but it is definitely worth a rewatch.
Yeah.
What were some of your other takeaways from the movie?
I think that the filmmakers showcase some really difficult scenes by framing them, and,
Mm.
um, I'll use the scene that you just mentioned where so this little girl who had unspeakable things happened with her dad at this home. So they're out for a walk and she's back there and she's, she's gonna pass away. And she's happy and peaceful and she's in love. And they just so happen to walk by the house and it's kind of decrepit and still there. And she's throwing like, her shoes and throwing rocks. And then she just like in a contorted kind of falls on the ground. She's just devastated,
Mhm.
like surrender and release. And and then he's like, "Random rocks, I guess." Like he doesn't know. And so after she passes away, he bulldozes it down because even though he doesn't know why that house sucks, he's gonna bulldoze it down. So there's just things where it's like
Yeah.
just this just really hard topic with nothing said. Isn't that interesting? Like a really solid filmmaker
Yeah.
can do things without saying a word. And so thought that was so interesting. I also um not to get mushy, not to get so mushy, but what's interesting is that all throughout each of these wins that he's having in his life, he's always thinking about Jenny. It's like, "I was running, I was thinking about her. I was in the army, I was thinking about her. I was
Yeah.
doing this, I was thinking about her," and he's just incredibly devoted. And,
Mhm.
and it is very, very sweet, and if you've ever had a love that's been very devoted for a long, long, long period of time, it's, um, yeah, like, it gets you in the feels. I definitely had some moments where I was like there was something to this beautiful home that's, like, going home, that's been in the family for these generations. It's this wholesome, safe place and, filled with people who will love you and no matter what, love you, and that's what this, like, space is, and, as much as, like, these characters went out and did incredible things in the world and had these beautiful wins and
Yeah.
amazing memories, and Jenny did, like, a Playboy shoot, and she did these crazy
Yeah.
things.
Absolutely.
But they just wanted to come back to this wholesome, safe place, and I thought, "Gosh, isn't that what so many people are looking for?" Like a love
Definitely.
forever to be accepted as who they are and feel happy and safe and loved and have a home, and so I just think that there's something about that through different ages and coming of age that really sticks out to me about that movie.
I would say also a takeaway that I thought about after we watched both of these movies was how strong the mom character was in both
Mhm.
these coming of age
Well, that's
movies,
true. Mhm.
where they had kind of obstacles on top of the main characters and having to come through that and be able to provide and do the things for their kids, um, no matter what,
Mhm.
and kind of that bond with their kids in that kind of role, and so I found that interesting that we both chose movies that
Was it
kinda depict that kind of strong motherly,
like a matriarch?
yeah,
Yeah.
presence in the movies, so that would be kind of another takeaway that I in reflection after kind of choosing this movie, but also watching Boyhood,
Mm.
um, between the 2, I was like, "Oh, look at that." They've written in very strong mom characters for a coming of age kinda movie.
Hmm.
Thanks, mom.
Yeah, thanks, mom. We have good moms. Maybe that's why.
Totally.
We got some strong ones, so that's why we're here. I think that we both rated, I think, this one quite high. What did you end up yours being?
Okay, so I rated this movie an 8.5.
Mhm.
Clearly, I've watched it several times, but it is oddly a movie that I don't watch often.
Mhm.
But it is always a good movie that I'm like, "Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good movie."
Today's
I mean, it did win a bunch of awards,
like 6
6
academies
6
or
Academy
something like
Awards,
that.
for several different things, clearly.
Mhm.
Um,
I gave it a 7.5
okay.
and because I think that yes, it is very coming of age, but it is I feel the length of time watching it for sure, and
It is
so
definitely a long movie.
and so I think that's maybe where some of it comes from. Also, I'm not so much going to look for a love story coming of age, and so,
Fair.
but I like that it's the base of this. It's really cool and interesting, so yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good
I
pick.
mean, for a rom-com, it's funny, it holds your attention. Also, it's, like, so absurd, like Watergate, like,
Oh my gosh,
the
there's
Black
so many elements.
Panthers, like, there's so many crazy things in the movie
Yeah,
that, like, we didn't even touch on that you're just like, "What?"
just
Anyways, yeah.
little clever, silly things, yeah,
Yeah, that
but
was fun to put that in there.
the writers were really good on this one. Yeah, for sure. Well, if you are watching this on a broadcaster or a streamer, then you can just keep on watching. Look for the next episode. If you are listening to this on Apple, Spotify, or another podcast, then please, yeah, scroll down to the very bottom, rate us 5 stars. Reviewers need reviews to get certified, and it does a lot for us. And stay tuned for more either way. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.